Sagittarius, to your chakra reading for July. If you friends like this, please like and subscribe. Okay, guys, let's see what's going on with you. Before we get those, let's get a regular chakra card out and see what we're looking at over here. Best chakra to work on. Is going to be third eye chakra. Is talking about using that intuition and, you know, just knowing that things are really seeing clearly, right? Really seeing clearly about the situation at hand and kind of knowing it too in its own way, because I do feel like if we had another card, you would definitely have the crown chakra, because I keep feeling like, because I clearly see what's going on with the situation, I really seriously do know. So the more clear that you get about the situation, the more you know that everything is going the way it needs to go. Definitely, you know, talking about that third eye, which is located in the middle of the brow of the eyes. And yeah, see, there you go, the peace. So, and it's really about keeping the peace. There's something that you need to be keeping the peace about, but there's something also that you need to change your focus on. We have the Arcturian light codes, which is evolutionary downloads, recalling power and future thinking. And there's a lot of thinking going on over here about trying to keep the peace within this situation. There is definitely someone around you who is trying to actually cause a lot of havoc. And we can, you know, I just feel this energy is pulling on you. They really want to argue. They really want to, you know, bigger, and you need to change your focus so that you can reorganize the situation and become more productive where you need to become productive for yourself, right? Chakras are about, how am I going to take care of myself, right? Or how can I even do something for myself to help others? We see this a lot as well. So if you see that someone is, you know, not at peace, right, then you would want to become productive within yourself to try to help someone out, right? So it's not only the humane thing to do, but it's also what the soul wants you to do as well, as we connect, not only with ourselves, but with others. I see myself enjoying absolute continuing abundance. And this is really what it is. And abundance can come in so many things. And right now, underneath this peace, it's talking about the abundance of finding the peace, the happiness, the joy, the living life that I truly want to live, getting back to the roots of places that I want to be, things I want to do, and just maybe the happiness that I once felt without dealing with this, whether it was a month ago, a week ago, a year ago, 5 years ago, however it is, it's rescheduling, reorganizing for your own peace, whether it's, you know, and it could even be the peace of mind. We have a lot of mind over here, and also within the emotions. So it says, I choose absolute and continuing abundance, where I understand that there is no limit to the abundance in the universe. And so by my attracting abundance to myself, I am not limiting another. There is enough for everyone. The key is for each of us to see it and want it, and then we will attract it, right? So that's how you attract abundance. The law of attraction card here, right? Saying this is how we do so, right? But it has to start within yourself, right? So over here we have adjudication. Oh, wow. And distant horizons. Wow. So I do feel like there is something that's going on that does need to be judged within your life, and I think the judgment of it is your judgment call. How are you giving yourself the judgment call? How are you doing your upgrades? How are you getting to where you need to be recharged and making the adjustments within your life or within your relationship to have this progress forward the way you want it to? Right, so, and having the heart chakra over here is talking about the compassion for yourself and changing the focus. The change comes from the compassion. It comes from the heart. It comes from what you truly desire. The heart chakra, as we appear, is the centerpiece of the whole chakra system, right? 3 above, 3 below. But what really, you know, gets these chakras really going, guys, is what comes from the heart, right? So the center focus of everything is what comes from what your heart's desire is, no matter what. That's where we have the passion. That's where we have whatever it is, and then it moves up to the thinking, because it comes through the emotions first before it goes to the mind, right? It's, you know, mind over matter. With the Ten of Cups, or yeah, the Ten of Cups over here, it could be a family issue. No matter how it is, it's the success of wanting something from someone who means a lot to you, you know, or that you still feel deeply about, right? About how much you need to change. With the Seven of the Chariot, could be a Pisces or a Cancer that you're dealing with. Could be definitely a water sign that you are dealing with. I feel that the problem with them is that they show too much emotion within a situation, and then it kind of throws you off. That's for somebody, not everybody. But there's definitely a lot of emotion going on, right? Now there's that toxic awareness. It's time to meditate and enjoy connecting with yourself first before you can actually even move towards what you're going to do about this situation, right? Because you really have to make adjustments within yourself before, you know, before anything else can be fixed. It just feels like a lot of this is blown out of proportion at this time. And you may feel like you're kind of pulling the plug on the project or the conversation or the relationship due to the justification, meaning that there's a lot of things going on that are just need to be justified, things that need to have some kind of radical change. It could, you know, within your own life, but it has to come from you. And having the recalling the power is going to be that self power that we see within the solar plexus and within the sacral chakra. Why? Because that's where the inner strength is going to come through. This is where you're going to say, I have the desire, the heart's desire through the sacral chakra to say, this is what I truly desire for myself. And then bringing in that inner strength with the solar plexus to say, and I can have this, I will have this, and this will happen. So this is the want, this is the will. So it's your willpower. Always think of your solar plexus as your willpower. That's the intention. That's how you get to the things that you truly want, right? Through the willpower, we get through things. And that's where, you know, how we manifest things with the Two of Wands. So you're definitely going to have to make new decisions about what your distant horizons is. What is on the distant horizon, my friends? What is it that you truly, truly want? Clearly look at it for what it is and then really reach out and grab it. And if you really want to connect with this person and try to fix the situation, boundaries are going to have to be made in some ways. And it could even be the way that they're confronting you and the way that they're speaking to you. There has to be more gratitude within the situation. We can see this with all the compassion, right? You might even feel like they don't have any gratitude towards you. They're not grateful towards you. So how are you going to try to fix this? How is it going to work? It's not boding well over here, but it can only bode well as you make it, right? Because through the determination of the Ten of Wands, it's saying you'll have the inner strength to do so. And, you know, but there's a lot of pain aching air over here. You're gonna have to find the peace within yourself to get to some kind of healing to be able to get rid of those swords. Somebody cheated on somebody as well, so you're gonna have to make that decision whether or not you actually want to take this person back because they mean so much to you, or are you just definitely going to let them go for your own sanity and your own, you know, growth and expansion. You know, there's a lot of fish in the sea. Yeah. It's not taking any kind of moderate move forward, so the communication that you are looking for is going to have some kind of solution. Once you figure out what it is you truly want, you'll see the surprising solutions come up towards the tricky situation, towards what's going on, right? Yeah, we got the guilt. Do not allow them to make you feel guilty. That's for somebody. I'm just telling you right now. If they don't want to give the gratitude and they're ungrateful, my friends, there's nothing you can do about that. Look, there has to be a give and take within the situation. And it feels like with the devil over here, it could be a karmic chain that is now either from the past, whether it's a past life or you've made it within this life, that's holding tight to you. A lot of karmic chains that we have are not past life. They're actually things that we're building now within our, you know, together throughout the months, the weeks, allowing things to flow, allowing people to get away with things as we're learning with each other, right? So, however it is, you know, the more that it becomes toxic, the more the chain builds. So, and it, you know, however it is, right? But they can have a way, it looks like, of making you feel guilty for whatever the consequences are that they're doing. And you just cannot do that. You need to be able to escape the situation so that you have a better perception about the situation to say, you know what, wait a minute, why do I feel bad? You're the one that cheated on me. You're the one that made me feel this way. It's not your fault. What are they going to tell you? I went out and cheated on you because you weren't sexual enough with me? I'm sorry, that was for someone. Wow. And I'm telling you right now, that is not an excuse. That's no excuse. I know, get the popcorn, right? But no, that's no excuse. If they didn't like that, then they should have left. They don't go out and find someone else. Okay, come on. Right? Let's, you know, let's get this real. That is not supportive, and that's not even healthy. So if they're trying to make things into your fault for their bad decisions, it's wrong. Okay? And for everybody else who wasn't dealing with that, if that's not your story, throw that away. However it is, they're bringing up maybe old news, trying to make you feel guilty for something, or maybe you just feel guilty because you can't figure out how to fix the situation. There's no guilt needed. Guilt is a negative energy. We don't need that. We need peace. Peace of mind so that we can see clearly with the intuition. As soon as the negative energy comes in, it closes down the intuition, and then you don't have any. Right? Because then assumptions start coming through. Negative things that bring us down. Then your logical thinking goes crazy, but you're not using your gut feelings and you're not using your intuition because the intuition is stagnant. Because your heart is now all wishy-washy and all over the place. So once you find the compassion for yourself, not them right now, yourself, then you will find that you know that something for yourself has to be. And then that's when you have the brilliant ideas popping in to bring better things to you. Better ideas, better solutions. Okay? This is where artistic inspiration abounds, right? And then you'll have better communication as well to be able to communicate these things that you are seeing and being able to speak from not just the heart's desire and from the heart, but also from the soul, and allowing that soul to really shine through. And then it'll say, look, now you see what you learned about the situation. Once you see that perception as well, then everything can be fixed. But remember, don't forget to what? Get out of that box, look backwards at the situation, change the perception. That way you can see it from a different point of view, right? Because as we, I always say it, guys, if we can see it from our friend's point of view, and they say that's really effed up, that they're doing that, and you're like, I don't know, I just wish that, no, if you take that friend's point of view by taking yourself out of your shoes, looking at it from their point of view, you will be able to see so much more. Because, it's crazy. We can say these things to our friends, man, but then when it happens to us, we forget because we don't have that perception. So we're seeing it in a whole different light. Perception's hindsight 2020, right? So make sure that you are doing that. It will split everything up, and then it will bring in better clarity. And that's also good for healing too. Remember that, right? Because then you can see it from a different point of view. Is it really worth this grudge, this, that, right? So, okay. And yeah, I do. I feel like somebody is, bickering, short-tempered, maybe a little impulsive. It could even make you this way as well, right? Because they're doing something, and all you really want to do is keep the peace. A lot of times we want to keep the peace so much that it ends up impulsively short-tempered. Because all I want you to do is shut up, right? I asked you nicely 5 times, right? I just want you to be good. I just want you to do this. I want you to do that. And then it kind of works on that temper. So really, connecting to yourself and being able to do that, you'll be able to rest easier, knowing that there'll be more opportunities opening up. And even if it isn't with this person, it will definitely be better communication of what you need to do to move forward. Okay? And that was it for you, my friends. Until next time, peace and love. Bye-bye.